3, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With your permission, I would like to answer questions 3 and 9 together. First thing I'd like to say is that I strongly commend the work of my right honourable friend, the member for Kingston upon Hull North, the work that she's done on those that have been impacted by the infected blood scandal. And I look forward to working across the House on this important issue. The government has accepted the moral case for compensation, but it is only reasonable that the response is fully informed by Sir Brian's final report, which is anticipated in March next year.
Diana.
8 months ago, recommendation 12 of the final report on compensation called for interim payments of £100,000 to be paid to recognise the deaths of people to date unrecognised and alleviate immediate suffering. The Cambridge Dictionary describes the word interim as something temporary that is meant to be used until something permanent exists. And I know the Minister is a good man and will want to do his best. So can he tell the House when those interim payments will start to be paid?
I also welcome to the new bench team.
I can't tell her that today, but in the 7 days that I have been in this post, I've recognised this to be the highest priority that I face in this role. There are a number of complex issues that I need to come to terms with. I am familiar with the whole issue from my previous role as Chief Secretary. I think this might be a matter of gamekeeper turned poacher, but I know how to understand the mindset of the Treasury and how we can actually get a solution that deals with the range of recommendations. So I can't say any more in substance today, but I will be having further meetings across Whitehall, more this morning, and I'm determined that this government will respond as comprehensively as it can, as soon as it can.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have raised in both written and oral questions with the former Paymaster General the case of a constituent of mine whose father died following an infected Factor VIII treatment. The family could not even grieve openly because of the stigma around HIV and AIDS at the time. Compensation will not bring their father back, but it would give the family closure. Now, my constituent contacted me after a statement when the former Paymaster General talked about the moral case for compensation of those affected by this scandal, as the Minister has just done. He said the government accepted that there is a moral case. But he also said that those infected and affected have suffered enough. Given the acceptance by ministers that the children of those infected have suffered enough, when will the government make interim compensation payments to the estates of those who have died as a result of infected blood products, and separately, those affected whose parents have died?
I think the best answer I can give the Honourable Lady is as quickly as reasonable thoroughness permits, as the Chair said in his response. I am totally aware and sincere in my appreciation of the frustration that exists on this issue. But as I say, 7 days in, I'm doing everything I can to move this forward, to gain assurances from across Whitehall so I can update the House as quickly as possible. I sense the palpable frustration and I realise that this needs action from government as quickly as possible.
Dame Nia Griffith, Shadow.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Speaker. Well, I welcome the Minister to his new role. Now, he will know that time is of the essence with the victim of this scandal dying every 4 days. And he also knows there's nothing to stop the government setting up a compensation scheme now. The failure to do so is weighing heavily on the minds of those affected. And the cynical would think the government's just kicking the issue into the long grass. So can the Minister tell us when he hopes to report on preparations for compensation and appoint a chair for an appropriate body to run the scheme?
What I can say to the Right Honourable Lady is that I'm familiar with a range of activities that need to take place. I'm getting into the detail of every single one of them, but I've got to gain collective agreement before I can announce anything to this House. And this House will be the first place I make any announcements when I've secured that. And I acknowledge her frustrations on this, and I'm doing everything I can, and I will update the House as quickly as I possibly can.
Andrew Glen.
Thank you. I've listened very carefully to the Paymaster General in his replies to my colleagues about the contaminated blood scandal. Can he guarantee that we will have a statement to the House before Christmas recess?
No, I can't guarantee that because I haven't got collective agreement yet, but I'm working towards that ambition and that's what I want to achieve.
Dame Diana Johnson.
Why can Scotland and Wales set up psychological support services for those victims of the contaminated blood scandal, and England hasn't been able to do this?
Because I haven't yet secured collective agreement to do so. The funds are available. It's absolutely right we bring that forward as soon as possible. And again, that's one of the activities that I'm engaged in resolving later this morning.
Jim Shannon.
Mr. Speaker, further to the question by the Right Honourable Lady for Lady for Kingston on Hull North, sorry, let's get that right, and also the Honourable Lady for Edmonton. What assessment has the Minister made of the number of people who have sadly passed away this year due to infected blood before their compensation has been available for claiming?
I don't have that number for him, but I think the point he's making illustrates the urgency of the work that I'm engaged in and the need to make sure that over the next 10 to 12 working weeks, by the expected date of the publication of the report, that the government can bring forward a comprehensive response.
We'll now suspend till 10:30.